All right, what is up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we got an updated list here on Black Yellow Charlotte Linlin. Still in OP-04 at the time of me recording this. All these cards are OP-04 legal over here in the West. And this is the current deck that I'm running for Black Yellow Charlotte Linlin. And I just recently, last night, went 3-0 in a small tournament. And I went against Eustace Kid, which was running a Supernova and film package, and then 2 Rebeccas. So, and I like I said, I went 3-0 with the list, and it felt pretty strong. And we're going to talk about that in today's video, all the different cards on here. And real quick, I got to give a shout out to someone in my Discord who gave me this idea over here on the far left, this caramel card. I got this idea from someone, I don't know how to pronounce their name on Discord, but it says, I'll call them Meg for short. They gave me this idea to run this card, and they also gave me the inspiration in a list they were running. This was just a list floating around on my Discord. Not this list, excuse me. This is my list, but a list that was floating around on Discord of Black Yellow Charlotte Linlin was running Caramel, and it was running Kuzan. It might have been running Sakazuki as well, I can't remember, but it was running Kuzan and Caramel. And I was thinking to myself, okay, that's a lot of card draw. That's a pretty nice turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 play, turn 4 with Katakuri, turn 5 with Charlotte Linlin, if we're on the draw with this deck. I thought that's pretty nice, and I started incorporating that. And it did very well. The first time I played it, like I said, I played against 2 very solid players. The Eustace Kid was the first game I played. He was a solid player. And the third game, to go 3-0, was against Rebecca. He was very solid. I will say my game in the middle was against a player who it was their first time playing Rebecca. And you could tell, that's no offense to the player, obviously, but you could tell it was their first time playing it. They made a few careless mistakes. Hey, even I made some mistakes. I'm not going to lie. If y'all could have seen the games, you'd have cringed. But still, we were able to pull it off. We were able to pull off the 3-0. So anyway, back to the deck list here. The Caramel in particular, I got the inspiration and the Kuzan and Sakazuki curve from someone named Meg in the Discord. So big shout out to them. They always have great stuff to say on there as well. And if you're not on the Discord yet, you should come hang out on there with us, because there's like different deck lists floating around. And yeah, a lot of it's janky, I'm going to be honest with you. But isn't that kind of the best part about being part of a TCG community, is like seeing all the janky decks people come up with? You guys know how it is. All right, so real quick, let me go over the list real quick and talk a little bit about what's going on here. So 3 Charlotte Linlin, 4 Yamato, 2 Katakuri, 2 Sakazuki, 3 Kuzan, 2 Ice Age, 4 Caramel, 4 Vivi, 3 Sanji, 4 Borsellino, 2 Sabo, only 2 Sabo, 4 Suru, 4 Beige, 2 Bartolomeo, 3 blockers of your choice here. I run 2 Pound, 1 Fukuro. They could all be Fukuro or they could all be Pound. It depends on what you prefer, I think. I will say Pound, I think, is a little better against Law. And against the faster decks, I think it's better. And it's better against Rebecca, being able to put Kairos on top of their life or bottom of their life. 2 Narcobar Arrow and 2 16 Pistol. Okay. So, real quick. First things first, I want to talk about my cards up here at the top, my 9 boss monsters, or whatever you want to call them. I am missing 1 Katakuri, and I would trade out 1 Yamato for 1 Katakuri. I think the best that I've seen so far, especially with the flow of the deck currently, would be 3 Charlotte Linlin, 3 Yamato, 3 Katakuri. Especially now that I have a strong 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 play. It just makes sense, right? It just makes sense to do that. There probably is an argument to go up a Sabo or 2 to help finish out the odd curve. But let's just be honest, there's no 7 cost that we're going into. So, it is what it is, kind of thing. Anyway, so let's keep going. So the Caramel is the first card I want to talk about. Let me hit escape real quick and show y'all. This is Caramel, because it's impossible to see it on the whatever was up down there. Caramel is let me blow this up. It is a 2 cost, 1,000 power, 1,000 counter. Your turn, on play, draw 1 card. That's it. Like, that's pretty much all it is. But then it has the added effect of potentially being a trigger that can play this card, KOing up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 2 or less. That's actually a lot better than people might think. Like against Law, that's hitting Dadan, that's hitting Beige, that's hitting Chopper, Namis, you name it. This can hit quite a few things against the rush decks, the decks that are fast, decks that are an issue, right? It has the ability to do that. Let me get this out of the way. So back to the deck, back to what we were talking about. Let me blow this up. There we go. All right, so the Caramel was just great. And again, another big shout out to Meg for pointing this card out and getting me back into running Kuzans and Sakazukis, because you know it's fun. It's funny, like you go to mess with, you know, building up a deck, and you remove cards and forget about them for a while, and then when you bring it back, like in the case of Sakazuki in particular, it's like wow, did I miss this card? A 6-cost 7K that can KO a 5 or less is just value. I don't know how else to say. It's just such high value. Very, very strong card. So like I said, I'd want to go 3 Linlin, 3 Yamato, 3 Katakuri. I was happy with 2 Sakazuki. I saw it, I think, once each game. That was perfect. 3 Kuzans seemed fine. A lot of times this was discard fodder for my 6 King pistol. I think I got 1 6 King pistol, like all but one game. Kuzan is also fine for cycling out with Sabo if necessary, or using with the leader's effect. Ice Age was nice because Ice Age is actually really good, guys. Number one, Ice Age plus Sakazuki just KOs anything in the game, right? Anything that can be KO'd will be KO'd. It also combos well with Yamato because, you know, Yamato is a 9-cost that can trigger, or that can, how do you say it? Yamato is strong in conjunction with Narakabura Arrow, but it's also strong offensively with Ice Age, right? Where, okay, if, like, say you have 3 life and your opponent has 2 life, well, if you go Ice Age plus Yamato, you're KOing anything in the game. But let's say it's later in the game where you have 1 life and your opponent has 1 life, or something similar, like you have 1, they have 2, something like that. Well, you can still hit a 6 or 7 by comboing with Ice Age and getting a life potentially while establishing a 9k body. So one more thing before I forget with Caramel. This card, it's nice to just, you know, right on turn 1 draw a card if you're on the draw, like we were saying. But later in the game, you have Katakuri plus Caramel for just an incredible high value play, right? Because you'll play this for 2 Dawn to draw a card, and then you can play your Katakuri bouncing it to your life, where now you just gained a life and you have an 8k body, and when they hit your life, you're going to trigger the on play, which KOs a 2 or less. So it's just another incredible turn or 10 Dawn activation we have, 10 Dawn play that we have. Let me just list off some of them. Number 1 is Charlotte Linlin. That is obviously an incredible 10 Dawn play. Number 2, well, 2A and 2B, is Yamato plus Ice Age, or Yamato plus Narakabura Arrow. So there's 2. And 3 is now Katakuri plus Caramel. So we have like these 3 really, really powerful late game plays. Now, one thing I did cut from the list, and that I don't know how I feel about it just yet, is I did lose the impact waves. So maybe there's an argument to put those back in over one of these. I don't know. Or maybe even over Ice Age if you don't like that card. I don't know. Because one of, excuse me, one of the strongest 10 Dawn plays I ever have in this deck is where I just go, okay, play a Borsellino, whereas he play Borsellino, gain life with our leader's effect, which is 4 Dawn. So we have 2 Dawn left, still on an impact wave. But the thing is, now that we have Narakabura Arrow, we kind of already have that for 1 Dawn. Because getting the KO effect from impact wave is very hard sometimes. Sometimes it's just not realistic. And Narakabura Arrow is a little more convenient with our Sabo, right? Because now we can pay 4 to use our leader's effect, which, you know, that it's 2 on pay 2 and attach 2, and then when you attack, you know, you're gonna gain a life if you have 1 life or less by trashing a card. Then if you play Sabo, that's 5 Dawn plus the 4. Now we only have 1 Dawn left. So it ends up, Narakabura Arrow kind of just covers all the bases now. I don't know. I just think it's very nice. I think Sabo, see, now I'm getting more and more of an argument to go up a Sabo, but again, that's something I got to mess with later. I did go down a Sanji just to make room for some of these other cards. I don't know. I think I might go back up to the 4th Sanji. I think Sanji off the trigger is just unreal. Like getting getting a 4-cost card, you know, for free, effectively, like, yeah, you're trashing a card, and it is the card you would have drawn, so it's kind of, you know, it's not really a 2-for-1, but it kind of is, right? Because you're getting this 4-cost 5k blocker. This can give pressure or give defense, either or both. So yeah, very big fan of Sanji and Vivi, Nefeltari, Vivi, and Brule. If you want, you can run either one. By the way, it doesn't matter which one you run in this deck. But these cards off the top, the Sanji and the Vivi off the top, are just incredible. I run 10 2K counters, two Bartolomeos, 4 Surus. I was running the 4 Surus to combo with Yamato potentially, or even Katakuri, because Katakuri plus Suru literally is, you can, you know, get rid of any card in the game, because -2 Suru, and now you're hitting an 8 cost or less. That's anything you needed in the game. But that's preference. You could go like 3, 4, 3. I don't know. Something like that. Like I said, I think the pounds are slightly better than the Fukuros. I might just swap out this last Fukuro for a 3rd pound. We'll have to see. Sorry, guys. That's about it. If you guys have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to, you know, hit me up in the comment section below. The list ran very well. I don't know if I'm going to play it this week this weekend, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this weekend's locals. But I do want to play this again soon and maybe make a few adjustments, like I said, especially if I can get my hands on that 3rd Katakuri. That would be an immediate change, is the 3 Linlin, 3 Yamato, and 3 Katakuri. I'd keep the 2 Sakazuki. I like the 3 Kuzan for now. But maybe even go down to 2 Kuzan and go up a 3rd Sabo. Maybe. We'll see. I like the 2 Ice Age, because worst case scenario against the decks that only have, you know, small characters, I could toss it with Sakazuki. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I play Sakazuki to KO 5 or less, I could just trash the Ice Age. What else? And by the way, Ice Age has a trigger on it. For those who don't know, let me bring that up on the screen real quick before I end this video. What's it called? Ice Age. There we go. This is Ice Age. Let me escape. This is Ice Age. So 1 cost, it gives -5 to the cost on main of any character. But then trigger, KO up to one of your opponent's characters that cost 3 or less. So again, this is also helping me deal with the Blitz decks if I get it off the top of the life. So yeah, the 4 caramels I'm going to keep for now, that's for sure, at least until OP-05. These were just pure value. Vivi I like, but you can run Brule here. I liked the Sanjis. Borsalino I liked. Sabo, like I said, I might do some swapping around with Kuzan and Sabo. We'll see. I'm not sure, because I have a lot of 4 drops that go with my, you know, my turn 1 play with Caramel on the draw. So maybe it's better to get a Sabo, because this also draws an addition, you know, it doesn't draw an additional card than Kuzan. It actually doesn't draw a card at all. It cycles 2 cards, but still, you guys get the point. And then that can go Narcobura Arrow, and Sabo combos a little better with our Sanjis and our Nefeltari Vivis and Bartolomeos and Pounds if we need them to be un-KOable for a turn. So this will probably go up in the place of a Kuzan. I liked my 2K package, to be honest. I'll probably keep that. I think I'm going to go up to 3 pounds instead of the random Fukuro. I like the 2 Narcobura Arrows and the 2 16 pistols. So there you go, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. That's it for now. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And come hang out with us on Discord, where you see a bunch of random decks floating around you can get some cool ideas from. And yeah, that's it, guys. Until next time, peace.